Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, January 13th, 2023. And that's where we begin, on a day and a number that a lot of people associate with bad luck. Origins of these superstitious beliefs can be traced back hundreds, if not thousands of years. Fear of the number 13 itself is called triskaidekaphobia. And that's why some airlines, like Air France, often don't have a 13th row. And many hotels and hospitals in the U.S. don't have a 13th floor. Those who keep tabs on those kinds of things say it's mostly for economic reasons. Customers aren't crazy about spending money on something they think is destined for bad luck. Add a Friday to the mix, and the willies surrounding the number 13 tend to tick up a notch. Depending on whom you ask, fear of this particular day is either known as paraskeudekatriphobia or frigatriskaidekaphobia. All years have at least one Friday the 13th. Some have as many as 3. This year, there are 2, with the next one in October, in the run-up to Halloween. For the record, and according to timeanddate.com, there is no research to back up today being any different than any other in terms of luck. 63,592 basketball fans are set to make history tonight. Together, they represent the number of people holding tickets to tonight's NBA game between the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors, enough to break the league's single-game attendance record. The Back Home in the Dome event marks the Spurs' 50th anniversary and is taking place at the 64,000-seat Alamo Dome, the Spurs' home until 2002. According to the Associated Press, at tip-off time, the already impressive number of fans in the arena could swell to 68,000 people, counting standing room only. The all-time record that's poised to fall, 62,046, for a 1998 matchup featuring Michael Jordan's Bulls in the Georgia Dome. Could burritos with parachutes help end California's drought? This week, according to NPR, crews flying specialized aircraft called hurricane hunters flew above atmospheric rivers, dropping burrito-shaped weather devices into the heart of the storms. Their technical name is dropsondes, and they gather data to help improve forecasts and possibly help manage California's 2 competing weather woes: a devastating multi-year drought and a sudden, overwhelming amount of rain. State officials say they'll use the information to determine how much water to release from 2 key reservoirs at any given time based on how much rain is or isn't expected to fall. There's good news and bad to report in the wake of this week's flight fiasco. First, the good news. The skies above the U.S. are a lot friendlier today as airline schedules get back on track following Wednesday's computer glitch that led to thousands of cancellations and delays. As for the not-so-good news, CNN is reporting that while the FAA has figured out what caused the hiccup in one of its key safety systems, the software that runs it is 30 years old and at least 6 years away from being updated. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who's had a busy month with airline issues, is reportedly not satisfied with the current timeline and is pushing for a permanent fix sooner. And finally, Harry is a hit. Spare, the tell-all tale by Britain's Prince Harry, sold a record-setting 1.4 million copies in the U.S., Canada, and Great Britain on its first day out, according to the publisher. In England alone, book sales topped 400,000. Fun fact, according to a representative in the UK's division, the only books that have sold faster in a day have been about the other Harry, Harry Potter. That's it for KidNuz. Now, the KidNuz quiz. Where is tonight's record-setting NBA game between the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors taking place? The Alamo Dome. What's the name of the weather devices dropped this week by specialized aircraft in California? Dropsondes. 2023 has how many Friday the 13ths? 2, one today and one in October. In the UK, the only books that sold faster than Prince Harry's memoir were about whom? Harry Potter. In our Kid News Kicker, Monday is MLK Day in the U.S., a federal holiday celebrating the life and legacy of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Observed each year on the third Monday of January, it's a tribute to Dr. King's life and work, and also a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial equality and justice. Banks, libraries, and the stock market will all be closed, as will many schools across the country. Many people will spend the day attending parades and speeches, as well as volunteering for local projects to improve their communities. Our Kid News team will also be honoring the day, so our next podcast will be on Tuesday, the 17th. First, though, we want to shout out our terrific Kid News teachers, starting with Mrs. Davis at Reunion Elementary in Commerce City, Colorado, Ms. Costello and Maura Sharabi and their Bobcats at Bornblum Jewish Community School in Memphis, Tennessee, Mrs. Roy and her All-Stars at Almondale Elementary in Bakersfield, California, Mrs. Christmas and her Titans at North Pembroke Elementary in Pembroke, Massachusetts, and a special birthday shout-out to Senor Pablo Martinez and his students in room 306 at Balltown School in Balltown, Iowa, from your fellow teacher, Senorita Rodriguez. Thanks for listening. Our Week in Review quiz is up on our website, and for those who signed up, our weekly word search is in your emails. And don't forget our January Noodler. It's a great way to get your kids and students thinking about the news from a different angle. It's in our Teacher's Lounge, and it's free. Have a wonderful long weekend, and we'll see you back here for more Kid News Tuesday morning.